don't tell anybody, but I don't think we're from here. Like, first of all, what is even here? Furthermore, where is here even at? The word here is defined as in this place. So when I say I don't think we're from here, I quite literally mean I don't think we are in the present. I think we are from the future, experiencing the past. And furthermore, I don't think we are from this third dimension, because I don't think you can be from a dimension, because all is the mind. So when we say that we are in the 3D, we are saying that we are in the third dimension of the mind, which is to say we are in the mind, observing the mind as it experiences itself within the mind as well as outside of the mind. Hold on. When we say mind, we are not talking about the literal brain. When we say mind, we are talking about the psyche, which comes from a Greek word that quite literally means the mind, the spirit, the soul, and the breath of life, making it the total encompassing all. So dimensions of the mind are really just systems of the collective body, which is why the earth is the heart. At an individual level, we have 11 systems within our body, and at a collective level, we have 11 systems in our body. And this is how we get the 11 pathways within the tree of life, or the Kabbalah tree. It looks like 10, but one is hidden. This hidden pathway, which is also the apex of the pyramid, is knowledge, the Godhead, the mind, which again is not the brain, it is the total encompassing all. What I'm getting at is kind of crazy, but I think we're all one person who is from the future, who created this simulation for some healing purposes in the future. And the only way to change it was to go back to the future, which is really the past, which is really the present. Because remember, everything is happening everywhere all at once. Of course, from quantum physics, we know that everything everywhere that is happening all at once is happening in the same capacity until you observe it. Like quite literally, until you look at something, it doesn't change form. Like when you are playing a video game and there's not really anything in the background until you get to the destination, and then it's created. It's like the pathway becomes clear. And again, remember, when we're talking about the tree of life and the 11 pathways, we're talking about the path from man to God and God to man. It goes both ways. But if all is the mind and we are one, if just one of us were to successfully align in all 11 pathways, the entire collective would ascend. Which is not really to say go anywhere, because we're not anywhere in the first place, because we're in the mind and of the mind, observing the mind, within the mind and outside of the mind. But is to say that we win the game and break the curse of time, which only exists within the game, which is the simulation, to figure out what exists outside of the game. This is how I know that the stories of Jesus and Buddha are just made up stories put into the simulation to give the person who is going to break the curse the code. Because if Jesus and if the Buddha had really become enlightened and had ascended fully and had aligned all of their chakras, none of us would be experiencing this 3 dimension. And I don't think it's just Jesus and the Buddha. I think it's everything. The science, the history, the math, the language, all of it is coded into the game. All of it is elemental to the game. Meaning, all of it is actually oppositional to winning the game. But the perceived opposition is actually the mission. Meaning, the government who controls the mind is actually not the enemy, as much as they are doing what they are coded to do within the game. The Bible is not as much the enemy as much as it is doing what it is meant to do as it is coded within the game. Hold on. I just thought of something. The 8 will repeat until the 9 defeats. Meaning the pattern of civilization, or the pattern of Eve, evolution, keeps repeating itself because the person who is meant to break the game, who is the creator of the game, who is all of us experiencing itself, has to figure it out. Hasn't yet. However, I get the impression that this is all the same day. Because again, the past, the present, and the future are all the same. Everything is happening simultaneously all at once. Which is to say, it's all right now. That is the game. Point is this: we are not just the guy holding the controller. Yes, we are that guy because we are the observer of the third dimension, watching it all happen as a remote viewer. So yes, we are the guy holding the controller, but we're also the controller itself. We are also the TV. We are also the code that is being projected to create the characters and the scene of the game. We are also the rules of the game and the structure and form of the game, as well as those observing the game who are not actually participating in the game. Which is why there's no good or evil. Everybody is just doing their part. What will be, will be. I don't know, it makes me feel free.